Welcome back. In a story you'll see exclusively on KXLY4 News, take a drive on East Sprague on any given day, at any time, and you might be witness to a crime taking place right there on the busy sidewalk. But when that crime stays hidden below the surface, as human trafficking often does, how can you spot a potential victim?
Key things being that somebody is being used for somebody else's profit or pleasure by force or coercion, threats, intimidation, something of that nature.
Well, Spokane Police are trained to spot the signs of human trafficking right here in our own community, and they've been putting those skills to use this spring. In just a couple of months, Spokane Police and the FBI Safe Streets Task Force have arrested more than a dozen men for seeking out prostitutes along East Sprague and to deter others from doing the same and to give trafficking victims a way out. KXLY4's Caroline Rourke working for you with this special report. Caroline?
Nadine, this is a crime that is often committed in the dark and combated in the dark. But tonight, we're shining a light on the work police are doing to fight trafficking and prostitution right here in this community, and we're taking you along for the ride. It's late Thursday afternoon. The sun just starting to set.
When it gets dark is when you'll see things start popping.
But the night is only getting started for Spokane Police.
All right, everybody, let's get this thing rolling.
Their destination?
Eastbound on Sprague from Altamont.
Looks like we might have a fish.
Their target, a crime whose perpetrators and victims often remain invisible.
The reality is human trafficking can be anywhere, and it can take on several forms.
Traditionally, these were called prostitution stings. Now, law enforcement officers see it as human trafficking. They say it's everywhere, including hidden in the shadows in Spokane.
Looks like he might be going back to a hotel. Let's just follow him to wherever he's going to stop, and then we'll take him off there.
It's one of those kind of insidious crimes that's hidden from a lot of people's view, and a lot of people don't think about it.
That's why SPD is working with the FBI's Safe Streets Task Force to actively bring it into the light.
We're making an effort to make it significantly more of an obstacle and more difficult for them to victimize persons who are trafficked.
This is the third operation this spring along East Sprague.
Right now, they're kind of picking out some of the John cars they've recognized in the past.
Undercover officers and uniformed cops work together, scanning the busy road for signs.
She just gave a shoulder shrug and a giggle, and she's peeking in the window now on the passenger side.
They're not after the women, but these guys, the Johns who seek sex from potential trafficking victims.
What's concerning is she looks really young. What's happening now is a John just picked up a girl. Our follow units are watching.
Police follow their guy off the main roads and back into shady side streets like this until they can bust their target and cite him with a misdemeanor.
Have you hired her before? No.
He'll have to show up to court in a few weeks. More immediately,
Then we impound their vehicle.
meaning Johns like this one have no ride home, forced to pay for the tow and a $500 fee to the city.
That's what we're out there doing is twofold, is trying to minimize the demand by targeting the Johns who are actively seeking sexual activity from people, and then trying to do outreach to the victims.
The city splits the money between Spokane Police and Lutheran Community Services, which works to give these women a way out.
I'll have her give you a call, and then you guys can talk about what different resources are available for you.
Women like Linda, who says she has no other way.
I don't like having to do this, but if I want to eat or, because my normal Social Security disability that I should be getting hasn't been coming in, and that's my food and my rent and my.
For 3 years, she's been out here battling pain and addiction.
I'm fighting cancer, and the bills are huge. I've been doing the heroin because it's for the pain.
Hers was a desperate choice, but police say others have no choice at all.
They have some sort of demand on them by a third party to produce, X amount of money a day for them, which is really what we're trying to zero in on.
Whatever the reason, SPD wants to help.
It is everywhere, and we have several cases here locally that highlight that, and so we're just looking for people to be aware of some of those things and know that we're taking an aggressive stance on helping those victims.
On this night, 2 men felt the weight of that effort. It's 14 men in all throughout this months-long investigation. But it's not nearly the end for Spokane Police and the FBI, because behind what many believe is a victimless crime are young men and women who feel they have no way out. And it's not just the police that are committed to combating human trafficking right here in Spokane. When we talked with Captain Arleth on Monday, his next stop was the city's Public Safety Committee meeting to brief members of that committee on these busts and what happens next. In studio, Caroline Rourke, KXLY4 News.